Alright guys, it's Justin again with work in progress number 2 for the Master Grade Build Strike. In front of you we've got some painted blue parts. These are all painted, pre-shaded, and finished basically. For the most part, the gloss coat's on. It's not perfect, but this isn't going to be a flat finish. It's not going to be a gloss finish. It's going to be a flat finish. I'm sorry. So I'm not too worried about how perfect my flat coat looks. But this is going to be kind of I've actually kind of messed up. Not in the sense that I've screwed something up, but I glossed before I did a bunch of other things that I meant to do. So I just kind of jumped the gun a little bit. But I think this is a good starting point for this video. So you guys wanted to see, well, a couple of you wanted to see whites and blues painted for the next bit. This work in progress. So here's my little tray of parts. Here I've got the whites, and these are mostly done as well. There's a little bit I want to do to them in terms of maybe putting like a gray stripe down parts, stuff like that, but for the most part these are completely finished, and this is all the whites for the kit. So I might not, it depends on how I'm feeling, but I'm really happy with it right now, so we'll go with that and see what happens. I definitely think I'll be doing, if I do anything, it'll be these wing tips. These are awfully kind of plain, so but the rest of everything else looks really good. I'm really happy with the separation on it. There's not a ton of white on the backpack anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Here's the metallics. Got a little silver vent here. Got some silver on the inside of this with some gold detail. The landing gears have been completely painted. Very, very, very happy with the way these came out. Lots of masking as usual. Needs a little bit of cleanup, but for the most part those are ready. I actually broke this piece, but it's fixed, masked, painted. You got steel, pale gold, duraluminum. Ooh, the guns, or the cannons rather, I guess, are finished. Let's see if I can figure out which way this goes. You pop this on here like this. I don't want to break this again. I've broken this already. But it's going to look something like that. A little bit of gold poking through there. So, I have a little bit of fixing to do on some of this stuff, but for the most part, it's all ready for decals and a panel wash. Not in that order, of course. But, like I said, I have some masking to do on this. So these parts will be inspected and masked and painted accordingly. There's a few spots I want to hit with lighter blues, like this little hexagon pattern here on the cockpit. I think that would be really cool to do a hexagon on. And then on the, where is it at? The backs of the cannons, I want to do some metallic paint, like a steel, maybe with aluminum or something like that, or maybe I'll just keep it all steel, I don't know, for the back part, and then plug the thruster into that. Little winglets here. I think I'm going to do this little, there's like a panel line on there. I think I'm going to do that in either white or a light blue. I'm going to do some light blue detail on on the wings, maybe. I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that yet. I have the big gun to paint. That's still not painted, but that's fine. That won't take much work or effort. These red pieces are going to be a little bit of a trick as well. I actually want to paint the the handle here, like this back piece, I would like to paint this blue so it blends in better with the inner piece, and then do like the handle maybe in the red, but you know, at least the trigger. I don't know. I'm still toying with the idea. I'm not sure if I want to do it yet or not. And then the last thing I want to do, where'd my landing gear go? Oh, here it is. I've gone ahead and painted all these details on this, so the landing gear is ready for a top coat. I want to mask the whole landing gear off, and I want to paint basically all but this little strip with the hexagon in it blue, so that it matches with the bottom of the canopy, or the bottom of the cockpit, so you can tuck it in and it doesn't, you know, break the design too much, because the way it plugs in, it kind of breaks the color up a lot, and I'd like to kind of make it a little more uniform, I guess. So next will be yellows and reds. Those will all be done at the same time. Reds are a lot of fun to paint. Yellows not so much. As you can see with this thing, it comes out kind of orangey sometimes, so you have to kind of go really light on your orange. So I'm still trying to find a nice middle ground for that, but that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna do a cut here, and when I come back, hopefully my striping will be done on these, what I decide to paint on them anyway, and then you will see roughly what they're going to look like when it's all put together. I'm still waiting on some decals to arrive. I'm going to decal this as pieces, which is going to be a little interesting, because normally I kind of hard assemble things. So like if I were working on the arm, I would, you know, my method anyway is kind of weird, where I build the whole thing, take it apart by part, paint it, and then I put it back together and work on it before top coating it. But with this, I want the metal bits to stay glossy, and I want my frame, or not my frame, my outer armor to be flat. So to protect the gloss, I'm going to be re-glossing everything before the final flat coats anyway, but I'm going to be decaling all this, you know, together. So, like the wings and stuff like that. I don't think it'll be too hard. I just hope I don't put anything on upside down or backwards or anything like that. That's my big concern, because I get a little bit, I have a tendency to lose track of what I'm talking about or where I'm going, so hopefully that doesn't happen. So I'll be back in a few minutes, and hopefully you'll see some cool stuff going on. So see you guys in a second. Alright guys, I'm back with a little sneak peek. Here's some of the masking I've done. You can see the little inside piece there is steel. I've done these outer bits white, and I really like the way that looks. I have to go ahead and remask this again, just mist some blue over it to cover up these trouble areas. And then here's the actual cockpit area, or what would be the cockpit area if there was actually a pilot. I've painted the vents here steel, so that'll look really cool when I put the red pieces on the outside. But the cockpit is all finished. I have a little bit of cleanup to do around here too, just a tiny bit of bleed, so gotta get all that squared away. I just kind of did these just for the sake of previewing, and these are the more annoying pieces to mask and paint anyway. So what's left are these wings, the little winglet pieces, and the guns. Once those are all done, we can move on to reds, yellows, and I probably should finish this. So, I'll be back when all that's done. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so this is going to be the end of the work in progress here, but here are just some pieces that have gone ahead and been basically finished. with the exception of decals. These are basically the majority of the blues, all the whites, all the metallics. What I'm doing here is I've gone ahead and panel washed everything that I want to panel wash, so you can see all the detail and stuff like that. I've done whites with gray properly, so it's a little more subtle. I think it matches the shading a little bit better, and then the darker colors are of course done with black. The wings look pretty good. I think very clean. I'm finally starting to get the hang of this washing thing and making it look halfway decent. So there we go. So I'm ready to wipe these off again, just dust all the stuff off of them and then give them one more gloss coat, and then they're ready for decals. Some of the wing pieces, or the undersides of the gun rather, I went ahead and did the white striping on the end of it here. I think that looks really cool. I'm really excited to see how these all come together and what they look like when they're finished, but this should give you a rough idea as to what these pieces are going to look like. So hopefully, because what I've got left, all that's left is this gun, which I'm gonna go ahead and say now is going to be a huge pain in my ass to paint, because there's going to be a lot of masking and a lot of other things that I'm doing to this. So it's going to be a hassle, but hopefully it'll be worth it. I'm really excited to do it. But the yellows and the reds are all that's left for equipment besides this gun. The gun's going to be kind of a progressive thing. I'll do it when I get to it, and I'll mask it when I get around to it and all that good stuff. But the reds and the yellows are going to be done very soon. So the next work in progress will be the final work in progress for the backpack. For the backpack and the equipment, and then I can show some of that stuff off. I'm not going to show everything because I don't want to give away all my secrets just yet. But I'd like for you guys to see what I have in store and how good I'm curious to see how well all this came together. I'm really excited to try new masking and breaking up pieces and colors so that when you flip parts around, they look different and stuff like that. So these are all that's left besides these. So this is it, and then we can move on to the body, which I've already started disassembling and stuff like that. And we're going to do that in the same fashion as I always do. My favorite way to build. We're going to start from the legs. So I think I might do some tutorial stuff with this, but that's what's next. So I will see you guys with the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.